Well, it's still getting messier and messier, Indy. It ends with us.
Sure, here's a rewritten and polished version of your paragraph. All right, let's dive into the Hollywood drama that has everyone buzzing. Picture this. Two of the biggest names in the industry, Denzel Washington and Ryan Reynolds, sharing the screen in a high-stakes thriller. Sounds like a dream team, right? Well, not quite. What began as a promising professional collaboration has reportedly turned into one of the most uncomfortable dynamics in recent Hollywood memory. And the tension between Denzel and Ryan is just the beginning. Rumors suggest that Ryan and his wife, Blake Lively, are also struggling to maintain their A-list status amid the growing strain. Let me know if you want it to sound more dramatic.
Called it cut. I looked back and, oh man, he had a shiner this big. I just thought, well, this is the end of me. This is the moment that Denzel Washington turns me into a liquid.
Sure, here's a rewritten and polished version of your paragraph. Absolutely. Here's a rewritten and polished version of your paragraph with improved grammar, flow, and a touch of drama for that gossip-worthy tone. Here's the tea. Back in W. Warrants, 2012, Ryan Reynolds was absolutely starstruck when he landed the chance to work alongside Denzel Washington in the high-octane action film Safe House. Ryan was over the moon, calling Denzel a legend and saying it was a dream come true just to be in the same room as him. You'd think that kind of admiration would spark a great on-set bromance, but Denzel had other plans. Let's just say the veteran actor wasn't exactly handing out compliments. In fact, Denzel didn't hold back when it came to throwing a little shade at his younger co-star. The moment that really set tongues wagging happened during an appearance on The Jonathan Ross Show. When asked about working with Ryan, instead of the typical Hollywood praise,
back in a flagging or something, so I was pretty worried about that, but he took it in stride and he kept shooting shockingly. Got the day.
Absolutely. Here's a revised version of your paragraph with cleaner grammar, smoother flow, and that juicy dramatic tone intact. Now, if this had been just a one-off comment, maybe we could chalk it up to Denzel's famously dry sense of humor. But the thing is, this wasn't an isolated incident. There's a clear pattern here, and it's not exactly flattering for Ryan. In another interview, Denzel was asked about his experience working with Ryan on Safe House, and instead of offering the usual polite response, he just paused. That's right. He sat there in silence, flashing an awkward smile, as if he couldn't even bring himself to...
Having read through Blake Lively's complaints, that it was evident to me that she was likely under the influence when she filed her complaints.
Oh, this is juicy. Here's a cleaned-up, rewritten version of your paragraph that keeps all the drama while tightening up the grammar and flow. And let's not forget the infamous black eye incident. Oh, you haven't heard about that? Buckle up, because this one's wild. While filming Safe House, there was a scene where Ryan accidentally gave Denzel not one, but two black eyes. Yep, you heard that right. During a chaotic fight sequence inside a car, Ryan's head collided with Denzel's face. Twice. Ryan later joked that he was sure his career was over in that moment, saying he thought Denzel was going to turn him into a liquid. Denzel, ever the consummate professional, brushed it off and kept filming. But let's be real, how do you recover from punching one of the most respected actors in Hollywood? Spoiler alert, you don't. To his credit, Ryan has always been vocal about how much he admires Denzel. He's gushed in interviews about how working with him was a masterclass in acting, calling it inspiring.
I'm just asking the question, like, how are women allowed to do this, to take something and to make it sound like you survived? That's what it sounded like to the public.
Whew, this is getting spicy. Here's a rewritten and polished version of your paragraph, keeping all the drama while cleaning up the grammar and flow. But here's where things get even messier. Ryan's not the only one in his household dealing with serious Hollywood shade. Blake Lively, the other half of this so-called power couple, has found herself at the center of her own controversies, and let's just say it's not doing their brand.
I'll agree that the moral crimes committed here by Ryan Reynolds against Justin Baldoni have amounted to high treason.
You got it. Here's a polished and rewritten version of your paragraph with improved grammar, flow, and tone, while keeping that juicy edge. And it's not just the lawsuit that's tarnishing Blake's reputation, she's also been struggling to hold onto her status as a fashion icon, which has always been a huge part of her appeal. Remember when she used to dominate every red carpet she walked? Well, those days seem to be fading fast. At a recent Blairy event, Blake was practically...
I have got some major scoops. I mean, everybody's talking because the sink is shipping and people want to get onto lifeboats. So let's jump right in. Welcome back to Canvas.
Absolutely. Here's a revised version of your paragraph with improved grammar, structure, and flow, while keeping the drama alive. Rumors of tension between Blake Lively and Leighton Meester have been swirling for years. While they're on-screen, chemistry as Serena and Blair in Gossip Girl was undeniable. Insiders say the two barely spoke off camera. When the show celebrated its 10-year anniversary and the cast reunited to reminisce, the frosty dynamic between Blake and Leighton was hard to miss. Some fans have even speculated that...
Very quickly before I give you all of the tea that I got over the weekend, I'm going to go over the biggest revelations from the filing.
Of course, here's a polished and rewritten version of your paragraph that keeps the tone sharp and dramatic while improving grammar and flow. So where does this leave Hollywood's once golden couple? Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have long presented themselves as the ultimate couple goals. But the cracks in their polished facade are becoming harder to ignore. Between Denzel Washington's brutal takedowns, Quentin Tarantino's dismissive remarks about Ryan's films, and Blake's mounting controversies, it's clear their A-list status is under serious threat. The industry appears to be keeping them at arm's length, and even their once loyal fan base is starting to question whether they're really as perfect as they've always seemed. Let me know if you'd like to expand this into a full feature or add a dramatic closing line. This is shaping up to be a seriously compelling Hollywood expose.